Thank you very much, Madam President. I want to start by thanking my colleagues who spoke in opposition to the bill before us. I think they've all done an amazing job of pointing out what I consider to be outright hypocrisy that appears in the bill before us. Senator Martin just did an amazing job with his closing remarks. He made it quite clear that this bill purposely targets limited service pregnancy centers while not covering what would be described, I guess, as less limited services pregnancy centers. And it also purposely does not include a definition for deception, which is critical to the performance that would come of the bill once it becomes law. I'm very disappointed that the amendment that was offered earlier that would have defined deceptive and deceptive advertising failed. It was a perfectly reasonable amendment that anyone who was interested in simply creating good public policy would have agreed to. I think that's obvious on its face. I'm a little off on my game, Madam President, because I am standing before you in a mixture of anger and sadness that for the second time in less than a week or so, I am speaking in opposition to a bill which I believe is wholly political in nature and is poor public policy. We are witnessing the creep of authoritarianism in our political realm. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what is happening. Certain things in our country have been sacred for a long time. Our country was founded on very, very key and important principles. Individual liberty and choice first and foremost among them. And that individual liberty and choice extends to freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Two freedoms which are cherished by anyone who loves this country, but are under direct assault in this bill. When a government can use its authority to violate those freedoms because they have a difference in political opinion, we are in grave danger of losing the America that we know and love. If you look at the bill itself, lines 26 through 28 define what a limited service pregnancy center is. It says, means a pregnancy services center that does not directly provide or provide referrals for abortions or emergency contraception. It's written that way on purpose so that it's clear this does not target an abortion clinic. This only targets a pregnancy center that does not believe in abortion that would give different advice. Any person who with a reasonable mind would ask themselves why. Why would we set up the rules differently for these two institutions? I think the answer is obvious on its face. Our rules, Madam President, prohibit us from stating things on the floor of the Senate during the debate, making implications of motive or ascribing a opinion about the policy before us. But Madam President, I don't need to do that in this case, because what is happening here is right on the words before us. The distinction between including limited service pregnancy centers that do not provide abortion while not including ones that do is proof, unequivocal proof, that this body and the people that will support this bill believe that the government should use its force to not only write laws that affect one group of people more than another, but they can use those laws to intimidate people. There are some people who think it's okay to silence those that they disagree with. It's shocking to me because those same people often describe themselves as tolerant or liberal. But this is not tolerance or being liberal, and this is not about choice. I've heard a lot of conversation in the circle over the last hour about this bill, and some folks describing it as an argument for pro-life or pro-choice. That's not what's going on at all here. To me, that has nothing to do with the subject of the policy except for the reason it is before us. I would defend the right of any organization, whether they are pro-choice, pro-abortion, pro-life, to operate in this state under our laws, as long as those laws are applied to them equally. What we have before us, Madam President, is a law that is designed purposely to be applied unequally. That's why the word targeting was used over and over, because it's obvious. And as I said, it is clear on its face. I don't even need to get into it. I mentioned during a recent debate on another issue regarding religious freedom that silencing your opposition is a terrible, terrible thing in a country that is defined by freedom of choice for individuals. I'm also going to make an aside and say this isn't about choice at all. People that say they're pro-choice but want this bill to pass, they're not in favor of choice. They're in favor of one thing, and they're in favor of silencing the alternative. That is not giving someone choice. That is taking choice from them. And when it comes to the realm of political ideas, the marketplace should be free. People should be able to make their own decisions about what their path is going to be in life, their own pursuit of happiness. And when it comes to such a sensitive subject as someone who discovers that they're pregnant and is confused about what their next step in life should be, they should have maximum choice, Madam President. People that believe in pro-choice should understand that, but they don't. They want a bill that says you don't get choice. You can go to the abortion clinic, but you should not go to the limited services pregnancy center. It's just wrong. And to use the state government in an effort to do that silencing is far, far more worse. Madam President, I have an amendment. It is LCO 7996.
Mr. Clerk, do you have that amendment?
If it could be called, I'd appreciate it, and I'd love the opportunity to summarize.
Mr. Clerk?
LCO number 7996, Senate Schedule A.
Please continue, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a very, very simple amendment. It's two sentences. It says strike Section 3 in its entirety and renumber the remaining sections accordingly. And Section 3 is a very simple section. It simply is the section that gives the authority to our state's attorney general to apply to a court for injunctive relief and so on, to apply his power to enforce this unfair law that targets limited service pregnancy centers. I encourage adoption of this amendment by my colleagues, and I want everyone to understand exactly why I'm offering it. I'm offering it because the reason why the Attorney General appears in this bill, Madam President, is one word: fear. It is designed to put fear in the minds of anyone that owns or operates or works for a limited service pregnancy center. That is what it's for. It is to tell that person that this government doesn't like you. It is to tell them that you are subject to special laws and rules that other organizations are not. And we will use the force of that government. And we will use the force of a person in that government who is an elected partisan official to enforce our rules. I urge adoption, Madam President. This is a good amendment. And I'd ask for a roll call also.
Thank you very much, Senator Sampson.